Hello everyone, it's Kylie from PaperDaisyJournals. This video is a flip through of my latest journal collection. There are 3 journals. They are the same, but I have called it the Circus of Colour or Cirque de Couleur, which is my interpretation or translation into French with my very Australian accent and heritage. So hopefully I haven't said anything rude in French because I did practice. So Circus of Colour. My previous journals were very neutral, so I've done a complete flip and I've done bright pastels for this one. They are all the same, so I will just do a flip through of the one journal, and I hope this is the one that I wanted to flip through. So they're the same, probably 90% the same. What inspired this little collection and for them to all be the same is this cover, this fabric cover that I've used was a vintage napkin, and it had this really cute embroidery at the top, but that's what inspired the colors for this collection. So the size was also determined by the napkin. So it's 11 centimeters by 21 centimeters, which I think is 4 1/4 inches by 8 1/4 inches roughly. So yes, I'm going to take you through this particular journal. So as you know, the cover is the napkin. I've added a mother of pearl button, a super cute little pink glass button, and that is a pink plastic button. It is vintage from the 60s, of course. You can imagine that on a little swing coat. These 2 super cute trims are from Emily's shop, Blue Linen Cottage. I'm always linking her shop, so if I forget, please just have a look at a description in another one of my videos. No, I'll try very, very hard to remember to link everything. I've also stitched on 3 Suffolk puffs or yo-yos. I think they're called, I know they're Suffolk puffs in the UK. And they're from my friend Claire's shop. She has Lulu Retro on Etsy, so I will try very hard to remember to link that in the description below. And what I've done is I've woven seam binding that I have sort of tea and coffee stained through that all the way around. So that is the actual closure, and that's the back of the journal. That can be taken out if you don't like a closure in your journal or for your journal. I have some beads at the bottom. They're glass, and the blue ones are antique, so they're a little bit fun. And I'll show you inside. So inside here I have used 2 main kits, the Pastel Blue Kit and the Pastel Pink Kit in my shop, so they will be linked in the description along with those Etsy shops I was talking about. And I've also used a page from the Shabby Blossoms Kit, and it's my favorite wallpaper. This is my second favorite wallpaper, and you can see the colors that I love. The peaches and the teals and the aquas and the pinks. I am definitely a pastel girl at heart, so I had a lot of fun making this journal. That's original vintage wallpaper as well. And on this side, a really beautiful little embroidered pocket with a glass button that I've just pinned on the bottom there. And I just shabby up. I'm not very fond of square corners, so I tend to shabby things up a little to take that away. In this pocket I have a vintage tally card, and that was a game played a while ago. I'm not sure if they play it anymore. I probably was a little bit influenced by Valentine's Day because there are some hearts throughout the journal. Beautiful piece of vintage fabric here as a nice big tuck spot, and I've added a bow, and in there is some ephemera from that Pastel Blue Kit. And I've used vintage ledger and avocado dyed paper in these journals. That is a floral book page, and I've tucked it underneath here. It can be glued down, but it can be, I mean, what am I trying to say? It can be glued down to be made into a pocket, but if you want, there's writing space on the back. So if you prefer more writing space, then you sort of have that as an option. That's a Tim Holtz pin, and I've just added some vintage fabric to the top. I went heavy on the tabs in this journal. I'm not sure why, I just felt like I needed to. And another thing, if you watched my previous video, I talked about making frames as ephemera and how hard I thought it would be. So I kept wanting to do it but avoiding it, and it turns out it's very easy. Clusters were another thing that I kept wanting to do but just felt like it was too hard. Turns out it's really easy and fun. So if you're hesitating in trying something, a different type of decoration or some ephemera, and you're not sure, you think it's going to be a bit hard or challenging, just do it. You never know unless you have a go. This is a piece of ephemera from the Pastel Pink Kit with a little bit of vintage eyelet at the bottom, and I've just done some decorating with vintage wallpaper. That's a die cut heart, and I've just used avocado dye. I literally put a whole pile on the top while the paper was doing its thing in the dye mix, and a really sweet embroidered trim there for extra journaling space. I love doing these little clusters with a mother of pearl button, and I sew it on so that the thread comes out the front, and I just tie it into a little bow. I think that's super cute. And that's another piece of ephemera just tucked into a shabby tuck spot there. You can glue that down, but that actually stays in quite nicely there. This pocket I have made out of a vintage handkerchief, and that pocket will be different in each of the 3 journals. So just, you know, if you purchase one of the journals and you think, hang on, that's not the same pocket, it's because the other 2, I didn't have 3 of the same handkerchief, but they're all bright, happy sort of colors like that one. This is made of handmade paper, this tag. And I've just put a little piece of lace there and some trim for something a bit tactile, and I like how it sort of hangs over the top of the pocket, sort of adding that layered look. You can sort of see that little flower through there. And this is a really beautiful handmade glass heart-shaped bead, and I've turned that into a charm dangling off the side. It's quite heavy, so when turning the page you have to flip it to the outside. The Pastel Blue Kit, and there's some ephemera from that kit, sort of just showing you how you can use the kit, I guess. And I'm loving using double-sided decorated pages and sort of folding it in so you've got that layered look. And I've added some wallpaper there. I think I showed you the glass bead signature strings. And here underneath this pocket, I do love putting things under sort of tulle pockets. This tulle is very, very soft. It's from it's Swiss, and I've just put one of my collaged laminated cards under there. Probably good to use as a bookmark because you clearly can't write on it, but it is just for decoration. And I loved how you could see the layers through that. I thought that was lots of fun. Here I've used some tissue paper that I received an order wrapped in, and I've just glued that onto a tea-stained luggage tag. I did sew the bottom so that the tissue paper doesn't peel off coming in and out of this pocket, but I do like that it's not completely stuck down perfectly. Enough is stuck down for it to stay, but it gives that sort of shabby look. And here is another one of those pieces of ephemera and another little button cluster at the top there. And this is another glass button, and it's the coolest shade of green. It's so cute, and I thought it went nicely with that vintage fabric tab. A wool cigarette card, and this is the ballerina from the Pastel Pink Kit, and I've just added a little die cut heart with a little embroidered heart on there. That is meant to look like a heart, just in case it doesn't. It's not a circle, so that's at least closer to a heart shape. And that's another little cluster at the top there, so that's a sweet little page. Another big tab, and this is a floral image from a book, and that is actually a pocket. And I've just put one of the pastel blue butterflies on there with a little piece of ledger because it had the purple and the orange, and I thought it was kind of fun to add the numbers there. And that's just pinned on with a little Tim Holtz clip, a ruffle, and I just did a little collaged tag. You can definitely cover that or journal around it. And I did a little cluster here that I just stapled on. I thought that was a little bit fun. The back here, I decided to put some washi tape here. I have used washi tape. It's a white spotted washi tape on the backs of the ruffle stitching. But I liked how that sort of tied in with that green, and it sort of pulled it together and gave that page a bit of interest, but without taking away the journaling space. And I point these things out because I think I'm clever, and I like everyone else to know how clever I am. Really, it's just me thinking, oh, I've had a great idea and I'm going to share it. So that's why I explain these things to you. I just thought I'd, it's the Aussie way to self-depreciate, and I just can't help it. The thought came into my head, oh, Kylie, you're so clever for doing that. So I just thought I would share that little insight with you. This is ephemera from the Pastel Blue Kit, and I've just added a little bit of French text at the top, and that's tucked in there. And I've added that's the top of one of the handkerchiefs that had little flowers embroidered around each corner, and a big sort of embroidery in one corner. So I used that as a little tab. And this is another tag made of original vintage wallpaper, and that's the Shabby Blossoms printable. So that is the journal. Thank you if you've watched to the end. Hopefully you had a little laugh at my burst of egotism. But yeah, so my pastel collection, Circus of Colour, or Circus of Colours. And thank you for watching. Thank you also if you are a new subscriber. It's always it's a little buzz when you see that more people are watching your videos. It sort of encourages you to keep creating and making more. Yeah, so thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.